So, about 19 years ago, I started to believe in dragons. And something around 19 years ago, I had my awakening of a draconic awakening. It was an explosion of energies that I never felt before. It was something that I cannot describe in words, whatever happened there. And no one of us can actually describe in words whatever an awakening actually is. A draconic awakening is for everyone else different. So my awakening cannot be the same like yours. But I can say to you, for example, that it's an explosion of energies. And how you react to those energies is, of course, very personal. But eventually, the dragon showed me. I didn't want to accept it, but eventually the dragon showed me where we come from. And after that moment, I accepted it. So actually, what happened 19 years ago, the dragon showed me something so beautiful, something that I've never seen before, and the dragons themselves are so beautiful in themselves. So the dragon is basically like a beautiful rose, a beautiful, beautiful rose. And it smells good and it feels good and it feels that you want to be with that rose all the time. Nothing can be so beautiful, more beautiful than that rose. But eventually the dragon showed me another rose inside of his hands and said, "This is yours. This rose belongs to you." And I said, "Of course not. It doesn't belong to you, to me. I'm just a human being. This rose is far too beautiful to belong to me." So I refused the dragon. I refused the gift of the dragon. I refused it because I felt unworthy to the dragon. And that is something that we knew that was a big obstacle for me. That a feeling of not being worthy for the rose. And eventually, he took me where this rose actually belongs. And showed me that I was part of all of the field of roses, and that I actually should accept this rose because it's a part of who I am. It's a part of who we are. We are a part of this beautiful rose. So eventually I accepted the rose, but that was only the beginning. Once I accepted the rose, the path only starts from there on. The path, I mean, it's your dragon spirit. Your dragon spirit is actually that rose. And a lot of us, actually, people inside of this world, a lot of us don't want to take this rose. So I did it like it was my quest, so that I can shout it out for the world that dragons exist. And that dragons can be by your side. If you are triggered by the name dragon, then I am sure that there is indeed a dragon just waiting for you to take this rose. But a lot of people actually make the mistake also to take it too fast. So and that is what I bothered myself in the beginning of my path, that there are people taking this rose too fast, forgetting that this rose is filled with thorns. And a lot of people just take it and squeeze it, and it's like, yeah, of course, it's going to hurt. And that is the reason why I don't like it, why people take this path so lightly. Because it's a journey, it's a path. It's also going to have a lot of beautiful things to discover. Like I said, a draconic awakening is something so pure that I cannot even describe it in words how it is, how a draconic awakening happens. But your draconic self, your higher self, is something that I can only describe like a beautiful rose, but filled with thorns. You know, that is also something that happened to me. Once I accepted the rose, I immediately wanted to accept it, but once I saw the field of roses, I didn't really care how I hold the rose. And I squeezed it a bit and it hurts. That is exactly the same what the dragon's path is. Your draconic self as well is, because now it has to merge with your humanity. It has to merge with this human world to rediscover everything again. Like an awakening is like a birth in itself, a rebirth that you have to go on alone, because no one can understand how your draconic awakening will happen. No one can. You cannot go to a priest and it happens, like it hurts, or I've seen this, I've seen that. You cannot go to anywhere. You have to rely on your own true self. And there is a dragon by your side who offered you this rose. He knows you or she knows you more than anyone or anything else in this world. So you can rely on your dragon all the time. He is the beautiful, or she is the beautiful rose that is here by your side. Of course, not in a physical way, in a spiritual way. And that is what a dragon god as well is. Those are all beautiful roses. And you are one of them. You are one of them. But you didn't know it. You didn't know it in the beginning. That is why your dragon is offering it you. And you have to learn from it. Not to squeeze it, not to hold it like it's nothing. You have to learn and to learn how to hold it. And so now you can continue and go on your dragon's path. And to learn from your true self. You have to smell it, know how to use it, how to hold it. You have to learn from your true self, to learn who you really are. That is eventually the entire goal and entire quest that you have. Just like I say to you, my brothers and sisters, I love you all. I love your dragons, and I love the roses that they keep. I love it all. That is why I wanted to say to this entire world that there are dragons. Dragons are real, and they want to be by your side, offering you the most beautiful gift there is. Your dragon spirit. Your dragon spirit that needs to be awakened. And your dragon by your side is there actually to awaken it. But you have to want it yourself. You have to cooperate with them and say that you want this. And eventually, I didn't really said it, but I wanted this. I wanted this rose. I accepted this rose. So basically what this means is that the dragon, your dragon spirit, is going inside of you, finding wherever your dragon spirit is, and hoping to awaken it, to squeeze it, to hold it. So your dragon is by your side actually to wake up this dragon spirit within you. So eventually your dragon is always saying, wake up, wake up, wake up. But you have to want it. You have to desire it. And once you do it, once you cooperate with them, eventually you accept the rose. That I can say, the dragon rose. Oh, it's a new beginning, and that is why it's so difficult to explain this to anyone else. I mean, for every one of us, a dragon can be so different, and your path is going to be so different. So every rose is different. It has different kind of thorns. It has different kind of colors. It's not always red, and also different kind of ways to hold it. So that is what makes us just the same as the dragons. Not only that we are a solitary witch themselves, we are always going to be alone in our caves in the forest. But we are also going to have sometimes that we have to be in solitary. Not only that, but we have to learn from ourselves. Your entire life, you've been just a human among humans. So eventually, after a while, you have to learn from your own draconic self. And like I said, the best one that can teach you this is the dragons by your side. They know very much about you. So taking these roses, and that is the reason why I sometimes also don't like it why people take this path so lightly. So take this entire path very seriously. Take this rose seriously and teach it, examine it, and be happy for it. Be proud of it. Be proud that you have this rose. Because sometimes I've seen it. People take this rose and drop it again and just let it die. And that is not something that we will do. Because once you hold the rose, it's up to you actually to maintain it, to keep it alive, to keep your rose alive. Because roses die when you let it go. Once once you let go of your own draconic self, your higher self, once you don't want to have to do anything anymore with the dragon that lives within, you have to know if you drop the rose, then the rose dies. And this is especially also happening once you let go of your own higher self, your draconic self. Once it's awakened, it's like a candle, but there is constantly a wind going on, and you have to stop it. You have to stop it. You have to keep this candle high and make it a fire. Make it flames. Make it like dragon's fire. Make it fueled with dragon's fire. So that is eventually what a dragon rose is. You don't have to let it go and die. You have to let it be alive. Let it be alive by your side. And like I said, if you don't know what to do, rely to your dragon and just ask your dragon instructions how to hold it. Your dragon is always by your side. Your dragon is a part of who you are. And that is what you also are, my brothers and sisters. The dragon is a part of you. You are a draconic energy. You are a dragon spirit. You are a dragon spirit that sometimes needs to be more awakened. And this is like I said, I cannot describe it differently than the most beautiful rose that you've ever seen. The most one that smells the best. The one that really matches with you, who you really are. That you take the rose from the dragon. Because most of the people refuse the rose. They refuse it and just let the dragon be asleep for eternity. But once you accept it, you just need to examine it. You need to experiment with this. And you need to know who you really are. Because in your hands, in the dragon's hands, the rose doesn't die. But in a human hands, it dies immediately. That is why I want to say to you, my brothers and sisters, you have something inside of you that is so much draconic, so much of the dragon's gods, so much of the dragons by your side. You are so close to them. The only thing that we need to do is to cooperate with them and to be by their side all the time and to know who you really are. Because that, like I said, the dragon's path is a journey. It's a quest. It's something that you need to discover. It's a rediscover of this entire world. So, my brothers and sisters, take the rose of the dragon.